I think tales of our time are tales that we can all relate to on a human level, whether that's an emotional connection with the character, a story that's particularly gripping to our home situation, personal situation, work situation, partnership situation, whatever the case may be, even though it might not be a modern story written in modern day, it's something that really captivates our attention and our hearts.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tales of Our Times. This is a show where we discuss the stories that move us, what makes them so meaningful, and why others could or should find meaning in them as well. This is not a spoiler-free show, so bear that in mind as you continue to listen. We tackle movies, books, comics, and more. Where there's a story, there's a reason to read. And I'm your host, Amanda Stevens, and today I'm joined by my guest, Kristine Kris Amour Denis.
You did that very well. You have a very nice French-sounding tone to you.
Well, thank you. That's the first time I've heard it. It was Spanish that I studied, so anytime that I can affect another accent well enough, I'm content. That's all I need. So
good on you.
Well, thanks. Now, I met Kris because she runs a silent reading circle here in Taipei. But besides that, or perhaps in addition to that, is there anything else that you would like to say to introduce yourself?
Sure. So, Kristine, I'm Kris. I'm originally from Montreal, Canada, but I've been living abroad in Taipei for the last 2 years. And yes, I'm the co-host of a silent reading group that takes place every month in Taipei. I've loved reading ever since I was a little girl, with my mom making the voices of all the characters we read in bed at home. So shout out to my mom, Denise, who's instilled the love of reading in me with books like Charlotte's Web, The Tales of Mother Goose, the Dr. Seuss series, and then, Gotta Love Scholastics, Harry Potter, the entire Harry Potter series completely captivated me.
Book fair girl?
Yes, very much. I would just wait for the Scholastic papers to be passed around at the end of the day at school.
I can smell it. Now that I've said it, I can smell the fresh eraser smell of the just set up book fair.
That's probably where my shopping addiction originally came from.
And then that's where it began. Exactly. Right. You get $20 or whatever and your mom's like, yeah, sure, buy whatever you want. How far can I make this go? Now, at first, I remember when we were talking about what kind of book you would want to discuss, you had a wide range of books, and then you honed in suddenly on this one.
Yes.
So what is that?
So today I want to talk to you about Verity. I know a lot of you probably already know Colleen Hoover from the recent movie adaptation of her book, It Ends With Us. If you don't know about It Ends With Us, maybe you've heard about the legal drama between Blake Lively and her director, Justin Baldoni.
I mean, that's where I first heard about it, to be honest, was from the internet drama.
Yeah, no publicity is bad publicity, right?
Exactly.
They have people buzzing about the book. So similar to It Ends With Us, Verity is a fictional story, but this one is an amazing psychological thriller that was published in 2018. And it was on the #1 bestseller list for about 32 weeks.
Wow.
And now actually the movie is currently being filmed.
It's you said a thriller?
Yeah, psychological thriller.
Ooh,
Yes.
Okay, that's very exciting. So before we get into the summary, is there anything else you think that we should know about that book?
Yeah, I think what I really like about Colleen Hoover is her quick writing style. I just like something that's a little bit more fast paced, and I find that Colleen Hoover's really good at that, getting all the information in front of you on the page and keeps you interested. So I would highly recommend any number of her books. I have two other ones that I would like to read. He's a page-turner magician, definitely.
Okay, we've kind of beat around the bush a lot, but let's get into it. Could you give us a summary of the book, Verity?
Okay, let me just preface with there will be spoilers after this point.
Yeah, from here on out, there are big spoilers. So if you've been interested, you can try to skip ahead.
So I guess we should start with Ashley Lowen. So she's your average stuck in a rut writer who gets pushed out of oncoming traffic by a sexy stranger, within the first chapter or two. And she then gets cleaned up by this sexy stranger in a cafe bathroom across the street from where she had been pushed out of I think it's an oncoming like 18-wheeler truck.
Yeah, it's only good if it's out of the way of a sports car or a giant murder truck.
Exactly, right? So he's cleaning her up in this cafe bathroom and he's looking deeply into her teary eyes. And it turns out that he is the client that her publisher had set up a meeting with to talk about this big bucks project they want her to do.
Oh, very good.
So he negotiates with her publisher and tells her that he needs somebody to co-write Verity's last book because of an accident that Verity has had.
And Verity is his wife?
Yeah, his wife.
Okay.
And there's been whisperings like at the beginning of the book of what's happened to her, but we don't really know at this point. So she, negotiates like a higher price because obviously like she doesn't make a lot of money with the books that she sells on her own. So she can't really turn it down because, she's on the way out, like
she's
to losing her apartment.
Writer.
Exactly,
right. She has to be in a financially difficult situation. So this is perfect for her.
Yeah. And so then like they're coming out of this negotiation meeting and the husband, Jeremy, is just like, since all of Verity's notes and parts of the book are already in her home office, why don't you come and move in and stay with us?
Okay, so they're all going to be living in the same house, and there's not going to be any problems with that.
Exactly. No, just a beautiful house in the woods in the back of Vermont. Nothing sus.
Yeah, and we live by ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. We have no neighbors.
Oh my God! Wait, I just remembered that you said that this is a thriller.
Yes.
Oh my God! Wait, I was settled on this being. I shouldn't yell into the microphone. I was already settled on this being just like a romantic comedy, and then now we're gonna fall in love. And I just remembered the genre. Oh my God! Okay,
oh nay. So she moves into the house. She starts looking through all these notes, and suddenly she finds Verity's secret manuscripts. So like a memoir, and she, what would you do if you found somebody's secret diary just lying out?
You have to read
she
it.
Just can't help herself.
The bigger person would not read it, but that is not me. I would be reading it.
I would also be reading it.
Yeah.
So she sees that Verity, who up to this point has been completely bedridden and
we don't know why,
had been writing about how she truly feels about her husband, her children, her family, and who she truly is, as a person.
And it's not good.
It's not good. No.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like at one point, so she's trying to be good, she sets herself up in the home office. She's sleeping there, she's living there, and she is taking notes, trying to write things a little bit every day, but she just keeps going back
to the memoir. So the book that she was contracted to write is like some other novel that Verity wrote before, not related to the memoir at all.
Well, what's important about the book that she's writing, and a reason why she wasn't sure she wanted to take this contract in the first place, is because the main character of that series is a very deranged character. And so as she reads this manuscript, she starts thinking, wait,
is it the husband?
Has Verity written this deranged character in her own image?
Oh, in Verity's image. Oh, I assumed it was the husband because I was like, well, I was thinking this was a Stephen King-esque book.
It's a 50-50 toss-up, right, the husband or the wife.
Yeah, there's only two people here.
So you keep going, and this goes back and forth, and she's getting closer with her relationship with Jeremy, and she's building a relationship with their son. All the while, Verity is like in the upstairs bedridden. But then, so one day, like Ashley is playing outside with Kit, like after breakfast or something. And she turns around, and from the upstairs bedroom, she swears she sees Verity standing, looking at her from the bedroom window. In the end, Ashley confronts Jeremy. And even though she can't put A to B, she basically knows that Verity is faking it. And, there's even notes in the memoir about how she may have murdered her two twin daughters because she was so scared that the love that Jeremy had for the girls would override the love that he had for her. And she just couldn't stand the thought of not being
Someone
his number one.
taking away that affection.
So there's like this whole drama, like, did she kill her daughter? Is like she's faking it. Is she gonna kill me because now I'm
taking away
about
that
the manuscript?
affection.
So she confronts Jeremy, and he just cannot believe it. Right. So they together decide to confront her. They go up to the master bedroom.
Buddy system, I love it.
Yeah. They basically tell her the jig is up.
Yeah.
We know what you're doing. And they end up in this struggle where they're fighting each other, and we've got hands and arms and legs, and she basically admits to it after a while, like gets out of her vegetative like character state. And as they struggle, she reaches for a knife, like a kitchen knife that she had been hiding under the floorboards.
Oh my God.
Yeah. She's about to go for Ashley, but then Jeremy pulls her off and strangles her.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. So because he's now in love with Ashley, right?
Right.
And
also, I have to imagine that learning that your partner may have been behind the death of your children would immediately change how you feel about them.
Yes.
For sure. For me, that would be a deal breaker at least. Yeah.
But anyway, back to the dun 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 dun.
So anyway, so she's stabbing, and he's like, no, and then he kills her.
Yeah. She's about to stab Ashley, so he grabs her from behind, chokes her to death, and then they make it look like an accident.
Because you can't, who would believe them? There's no proof.
Yeah, exactly. So, and this all happens in the heat of the moment too.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they went up there intentionally trying to kill her, but the fact that she was hiding a knife under her bed the whole time.
I mean, things escalated really quickly when she pulled out the knife and stood up and was like, I'm gonna come after you guys.
Yeah.
So
yes, wild, right?
And that's how it ends. They're like, and it was an accident, and that's it.
No. So the denouement, if I can use my French. Basically, we see 6 months later, Ashley is now pregnant with Jeremy's baby, and as they're packing up the house, because they're not going to stay in the house that they murdered her.
Yeah, that's insane.
She goes back up to the bedroom to that secret hidden floorboard.
Yeah,
she finds a letter by Verity, where Verity says, "Actually, this was me writing an exercise so that I could write my character better, and I hope you know that I could never be this psychotic, deranged person. I love you. I've loved our children. I loved you all along, and I'll love you forever." And then Ashley burns the letter.
Yeah, you have to. Also, can you believe her? Absolutely. After that point, I'd be like, no, babe.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I really love this book, because it really asks us to think about the masks people wear, right?
And how do you give trust? How do you decide trust?
Well, who we act as in society, who we act with our partner, who we truly are on the inside, right? Do you ever really know a person? And as human beings, we want to think that we're super smart people who are really good judges of character, and we can tell a good person from a bad person. But when you grow up, you kind of realize that life isn't black and white like that.
Right. Or your own blind spots in character judgment, right?
Yeah. And everyone plays in the grays, and it's really up to us to decide who we can trust. And also we have to remember to trust our own gut as well. Yeah.
So is that why you personally find this book so meaningful, because you think it illustrates that very well, or is there another reason behind that?
Yeah, I think it definitely does illustrate that well, because you have this sense of yourself, right? And especially when you're making friends, living in a new country, right? Starting a new job, going to school, right? You always have yourself as a starting point, and then you grow as a person and you change as a person. And same with your friends. You know them from that moment, right? Whatever made you friends. But then why do friendships grow apart? Why do people get closer? How can you not talk to a person for 5 years and then suddenly you reconnect and you're the best of friends, right? Is because people change and you don't stay the same. And in terms of character exposition and being in the mind of these characters, in Ashley's mind, but also in Verity's mind through her writing, I just thought was super well done, and it really makes you think.
Well, because let me ask you a technical question. Is this book written in first person or third person?
It's written from Ashley's point of view in the first person, her point of view.
So you are really in her head throughout this whole thing.
Yes.
I feel like you would have to be in order for it to be this close up thriller of like, who do you trust? Do we trust Ashley to be a reliable narrator?
Mm-hmm. But just to dovetail back to what you were saying, I think another reason I really like this in psychological thrillers in general is like I'm a big true crime girly as well.
Okay.
And I love to see like the psychology of like why people do the things they do and what are their motivations for doing certain things, you know?
Yeah.
So to be like in somebody's mind and thinking like, okay, she's motivated obviously by money, but then her motivation changes because she falls in love with Jeremy.
Yeah.
But also her motivation changes again because she needs to get to the truth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like ever changing, also like we are as human beings. So I find that super interesting as well.
So then let's move on to, what do you think makes this story a tale of our time?
I think if people were going to read this book, it would definitely be part because of the genre. I think psychological thrillers are really in right now because of the way society is. Society's kind of become polarized a little bit, not just with politics, but the way people think in general. You have to be all in or you're nothing. Like nobody can be in between on anything anymore.
Yeah.
But I find that the author really does well at noticing the in-betweens and talking about the in-betweens and the transitions, right? So I think that's what makes it a tale of our time, because we are evolving. We're evolving as a society. We're evolving, you know, as equal gender opportunists. We're evolving male to female and everything in between, LGBTQIA++. Like that is evolving, you know? So I think we need to grow and change as people. And I find that that book really brings that to the forefront of like who you are isn't necessarily who you were or who you will become.
And also, who you are doesn't necessarily explain how you got here. Because I said it to myself when you said that phrase, plays in the grays, because like it's a very neat little framework to quickly describe all the shades in between that get somebody to where they are. Or as you're saying, kind of like that evolution of, while perhaps media will paint people as one or the other, the reality of it is that there's a lot of people who are stuck in the middle somewhere. Yeah. And you might be closer to one of these sides than the other, but very few people are actually wholly one thing. Exactly. And I guess to that end, like this book, you said, does a really good job of, if not necessarily showing like a single shade of gray, definitely making you cast doubt on like, who is the believable person here? Who is anybody wholly in the right? Should you have really trusted this evidence? Should you trust this person? Should you trust yourself? Should you trust your gut?
And also, like, why wouldn't you? Like, the relationship that you're forming with this person, you're about to have a baby with them, but then you're going to omit, like, this crucial piece of evidence that plays into how you guys got together in the first place. Mind-blowing. Just mind-blowing.
Yeah. It's just, I'm now also thinking of, like, the way that it got me at the very beginning by, like, playing with all of these, like, rom-com conventions of, like, wow, it's so perfect. And look, oh no, we're threesome. We're going to slowly fall in love. Exactly. Yeah. And then like I, like minutes after you told me it was a thriller, forgot it was a thriller. But anyway, before we wrap up, I would just like to ask you, if you could give Verity a one-phrase subtitle of your very own, what would that be?
I'd probably say, Verity, you think you know people.
An excellent title for a book all about trying to get to the truth of the matter or the truth of somebody.
Yeah.
Very well done with Colleen Hoover. Very well done. You've got me thinking. Well,
you should read it. Everybody go and read it. If even just one person reads it, I'll be happy.
Well, Kris, thank you for coming on my show.
It was a pleasure.
I
was so
appreciate
happy to be here.
And then if you're in Taipei and you want some more discussions about books, don't forget there is that reading circle.
Silent reading. We're actually doing silent readings every month or two. It's in collaborations with Taipei Mindful Gatherings, which you can follow on Instagram. And if you want to follow my Instagram for all of my hobbies, books, travel, embroidery, it's Kris, Kris, loves, all one word, .to-travel. Or you can follow me on Goodreads, capital K, Kris, Kris, loves, .books. Thank you so much, Amanda. I loved being here. It was so fun.
Yeah.
I loved it.
So if you want more of these hot takes, you know where to go. And regardless of whether or not you're on the internet, thank you to all you listeners out there. This has been Tales of Our Time on Radio Taiwan International. I was your host, Amanda Stevens, with my guest, Kris.
Thank you so much.
And today we were discussing the book Verity. You Think You Know Someone, A Tale of Our Time. We'll see you next time.